Our focus text today from Luke, it's unique. It is the only story of its kind in the entire New Testament, a story of a young Jesus. Now, over the first few centuries, people wondered and told stories about what a young Jesus might be like. Would he be a typical kid? Would he be weird? Early Christians were intrigued by this idea. A second-century text named the Infancy Gospel of Thomas, which is not part of the gospel collection that makes up the New Testament, but was written after. But nonetheless, it's full of stories about Jesus as a youth, which include Jesus making clay birds and turning them into real birds, and even stories where Jesus uses his gifts and his powers to get back at other kids, to the point where people start to complain to his parents. Fascinating. I mean, most people who study religion are very familiar with these stories, these other gospels or other non-canonical literature that exists out there, and the controversy that surrounds them, their history, so on and so forth. But for Luke, our gospel writer, he uses his account of a youthful Jesus to bridge the gap between the birth narratives and Jesus' public ministry as an adult. However, he tells it in a way that I believe has relevance for us today. Now, every year, his parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. And when Jesus was 12 years old, they went up as usual for the festival. When the festival was ended and they started to return, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but his parents were unaware of this. Assuming that he was in the group of travelers, they went a day's journey. Then they started to look for him among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem to search for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. And his mother said to him, "Child, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously looking for you." He said to them, "Why were you searching for me? Did you not know that I must be in my father's house?" But they did not understand what he said to them. Then he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them, and his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and in years and in divine and human favor. Luke tells a story about a youthful Jesus in the Jerusalem temple, actively engaging with the teachers, listening to them, asking questions of them. It's an image of a curious child seeking understanding and clarity. One of the major themes in Luke's gospel is searching and finding. Luke tells parables about a lost sheep, a lost coin, a lost son. He tells the story of Zacchaeus searching for Jesus, and the Easter story of the road to Emmaus, where confused disciples discover Christ walking with them. Again and again and again, Luke shows people seeking God and God seeking people and finding deep value in the search itself, where peace, joy, and new life emerge. That feels especially meaningful right now. A new year has begun. That may or may not feel significant to you, but here's what I know. As we begin 2026, you are not in the same place you were at the start of 2025. Your life has changed over this last year, for better, for worse, or somewhere in between. And because things have changed, even subtly, the question becomes, what are you seeking right now? What are you hoping for, longing for, searching for in this season of your life? Now, when I invite you to reflect on questions like this, it's always something I do first. It's something that I consider important, and then I want you to experience firsthand. So for me, 2026 is the year our oldest child graduates high school. It's a year of endings and new beginnings, of family transitioning, a time when what will be is very different from what was. In this season, I find myself looking for patience and hope. I'm hoping to be supportive in the right ways, to say goodbye well to how our family has lived for years, and to step into what's next with openness and as little anxiety as possible. Will I find those things? I hope so, but I don't know yet. For me, 2026 also marks another year in the ongoing secularization of our culture, where I expect the same rapid pace of culture change, where the institution of the church is heavily questioned, and where clergy are viewed at worst as predators and frauds, and at best as irrelevant figures. This is a time of organizational shift, a liminal period where something old has ended, but what has replaced it is not yet clear. In this time, I seek guidance and acceptance to embrace change while remaining grounded in our faith, which affirms that it is God's unconditional agape kind of love that can address our most profound needs as human beings and challenges facing our world. So what are you seeking, hoping for, or looking for in this new year? Has your health or family members' health changed? Are you taking another job? Are you moving? Are you searching for stability, a new partner or spouse, or considering ending your career or downsizing? Are you learning to live with loss and grief? Are you looking for something that would bring meaning or wholeness to your life? Are you aiming to make an impact, to be a force of good, to mentor others, or seeking to be mentored? We are all on different roads, but all of us are walking toward something, because we're not where we were the last year, 3 years, 5 years. For this reason, I really like Luke's unique inclusion of the boy Jesus at the temple. In his storytelling, he could have just fast-forwarded like the other Gospels to pick up where Jesus is baptized by John and begins his ministry proclaiming and enacting God's kingdom on earth. But Luke doesn't do that. Instead, he shows us Jesus in the middle of figuring things out, exploring, listening, asking questions, wondering, growing. This is a story of formation, a story of development, a story of discernment. Many people want quick answers, rapid solutions to challenges, questions, or problems. I know folks who just want someone to tell them what to do, what the right decision is, or where to go on their journey, because change is difficult. It's uncomfortable. It makes us feel vulnerable and uneasy. And I understand that, but I believe that quick answers and avoiding challenges are the worst possible thing for us. Some people take comfort in imagining Jesus as someone who always knew exactly what to do and where to go. Luke pushes back on that idea. Before Jesus begins his ministry, he grows into it through listening, questioning, and discovering his identity. In our faith tradition, discernment is an important concept. Discernment is not finding the fastest answer to the safest option. Discernment is the practice of paying attention to God, to our lives, to what's stirring within us, and learning how to respond faithfully over time. Discernment is different from decision-making. Decision-making asks, what should I do? Discernment asks, who am I? Who am I becoming? And where is God already at work in this? Discernment is not having a 5-year plan blessed by God. Discernment is not certainty. Discernment is not pressure to get it right the first time. Another way to say this, discernment is leading to recognize what leads us towards life, love, and faithfulness, and what slowly pulls us from them. Luke's story does not show a young Jesus rushing towards certainty. It shows Jesus listening and asking questions, sitting with teachers, and growing into clarity. Luke tells us that Jesus increased in wisdom and in years. It's not easy. Not easy work. It's often uncomfortable, but in a world that changes as quickly as ours does, discernment is a life-giving spiritual practice, one that connects us with generations of people who have sought God in changing times. So as the new year begins, some of us are searching for answers we think we should already have. But Luke reminds us that faith is not a shortcut to certainty. It's a long obedience shaped by listening, wondering, and growth. And this is the good news that we hear today. God is not just waiting at the end of your journey with a checklist. God meets you in the process, in the questions, in the conversations, in the waiting. Our focus text ends by telling us that Jesus returned home, lived his life, and continued to grow, which is to say, discernment didn't pull him out of life. It rooted him more deeply within it. May this be a year where we trust that God is at work, not just in what we decide, but in who we are becoming along the way. This is the good news we hear today. Thanks be to God for that. Amen. As a way of taking this message a little bit deeper and applying it directly to your life, a couple of reflection questions for you today. Number one, what question do you need permission to keep asking? Sometimes we do need that permission to keep asking those questions, but what is that question in your life that just needs to you need to keep working on? And question number two, where might wisdom be growing slowly in you, even if clarity hasn't arrived yet? And finally, because our faith is not just about an intellectual exercise, but also a lived reality and experience, our challenge for this week is this. This week, don't try to solve your whole future. Instead, choose one moment each day, a conversation, a decision, a reaction, a quiet pause, and ask yourself, did this moment move me towards life, love, and faithfulness, or away from it? Okay? That's discernment in real life, not rushing toward answers, but learning to pay attention to where God might already be at work.